Welcome back to Range Anxiety TV, and today we're going to have a little discussion about something new that you might not be aware of. You see, because there's conventional vehicles, cars, and software-defined vehicles. What is the difference between them, and what is this going to mean to you in the long term? Now, most of you would be familiar with Tesla. If you watch this channel, you would know all sorts of things about Teslas because I'm a bit of a fan and a stockholder and an owner. And so, you know, I take deep dives into their tech from time to time. But they invented something in about 2014, I think it was, or possibly even earlier, which was called an OTA, over-the-air software update. It appears as like a little yellow arrow, as you can see up there on your screen, letting you know that there's an update ready to be installed in your car. How cool is that? And it can do all sorts of things. Like as the car gets older, it gets better. It gets more and more features, right? It's defined by software, not by hardware. You see, because making hardware is what legacy manufacturers do and patch it on with software. But now in the EV space, hardware's become that simple that the software is the complex bit. And that's what gives you a car that keeps getting better over time. I just got FSD, full self-driving upgrade in my car the other day. It couldn't do that when I bought it. It can do it now, you know. Meanwhile, if you're in a VF Commodore, you're stuck with Pandora and Stitcher, right? That's the difference between legacy and real, you know. So you can reconfigure essentially every aspect of the vehicle, even the power, even your drive modes, everything via an OTA update. Now, very few manufacturers can still do this. Mainly it's the tech bros, like, you know, your Lucids and your Teslas and your Rivians. They can do it, but, you know, your Toyota and they can't. They don't even have an NPN key. You can't even use your phone as a key. Instead, you've got to have some stupid key fob thing. Like, I can even use my watch as a key for my car. Who needs keys? What a waste of time. Now they're making keys with digital displays on them. Imagine when that goes through the wash. Yeah. Well, you know, and the beauty is I get an update, comes to my iPhone, I can decide when I want to install it, and it'll install to the car in 20, 30, sometimes 50 minutes, depending on the size. And I've got a whole new vehicle. Sometimes it's just minor fixes. Sometimes it's new features. It's like a Christmas present every time you get an OTA update. So I do it. And Tesla do probably 20, 30 a year. Most manufacturers, I think BYD do them, and Volt. I think I had a friend with the Mercedes. He bought it new in 2020 and it did one update in 3 years. You know, like some people are good at it, some people are quite bad. Yeah, so, you know, it's an amazing thing. And when I say engine or powertrains are simple now, they're simpler. They're batteries, inverters, electric motors, and how hard you engineer those parts determines how much power you're going to make. When you've got MGs that can make, like Chinese MG things that go 0 to 100 in 3.2 seconds and make 700 horsepower, you know that the world is truly a different place than it once was. And, you know, people like ZF are moving into it with that picture up there of the skeletal looking thing where the car is just a conduit of small wiring systems, batteries and motors with this crazy AI developed software that controls it. And seriously, it does make cars better. The problem is most of legacy is stuffed. Like, you know, GM are going to have this working properly and have proper SDVs by 2028. Ford think they kind of have, but they kind of haven't. They're that disjointed and that locked into old supply chains and old ways of thinking that they're just quickly getting pushed to the side. And of course now that the USA basically said, just make your petrol stuff and make it and diesel stuff and make it as dirty as possible, they've got no need to make innovative or technically excellent product. So they'll just keep making slop because that's where the money is. Why cook a 5-course meal when you can reheat that old thing that's been sitting in the fridge for 3 years? Maybe when you taste it, you might realise that what I've just said to you now is 100% correct. And thank you once more for watching Range Anxiety TV.